My name is Laura Young, and originally I come from New Jersey, which some people have told me they can hear in my accent, which of course I can't. Um, and the name of the show is The Fire Next Time. Actually, I didn't think about it until Nick came to see my work, and it just popped into my head like out of who knows where. And that is actually the title of quite a long essay by James Baldwin, the writer, whom I had read in the 1960s, and now I'm rereading again because just the idea of fire, not in all these pieces, but in a lot of them, really connects. But as far as fire goes, and I think fire is, well, I'm an April baby. So I'm a fire sign, but I wasn't thinking of that. What really got me thinking about fire was the fire in California, which, I started reading about the town of Paradise. And Paradise, that entire town was flattened. And for whatever reason, I live in Iowa, but it just really bothered me in a profound way. And so I did a few pieces that are based on that town, and I think I did 3 of them. And so that's where that came from. And then I got really hooked on red, and so I kept going, as you can see. I think that besides the fires in California, then my partner and I went to Africa, and we were on safari. And halfway through it, we were told we had to go home because of the pandemic. So we came home, and gradually the virus, those little things that we see illustrations of, gradually those little particles, I realized that I was kind of doing that, and so that's part of it too. So between fire and pandemic, I mean, what more could you ask for? That sounds very strange, but. Is that I started out with abstraction, and that's the way I was taught. And then when I started teaching, I got interested in landscape and still life, and I did that for a number of years, quite a number of years. Actually, I was in Africa then too. I was in Nigeria with my husband at the time, and I got really interested in how on earth do you do landscapes. Here we were in the jungle practically. And then later I came to Iowa with my husband at the time, and I was watching the kids. I was basically teaching drawing, and I was watching them draw, and I realized I had to set up still lives. And so I started realizing that if I'm going to teach them all this stuff, I better do it too. And so I did. And so I would say I did landscapes for about 10 years, and another 8, maybe 10, I did still lives. And then he died. And from that time on, I've worked abstractly. I think I really like this size, but I also like that 3 foot by 3 foot size, because that feels like a whole world I have to create. Well, and if you take these little tiny areas, and then you put them on a big scale, then it starts to look really, really obsessive, which I kind of like, actually. Well, I work pretty, like if I'm working on a pastel, I'm pretty close. So what I do periodically, of course, is get way back from it, and then I see what it needs or doesn't need, and then I go back into it. And the same with the paintings. And sometimes I turn them around or upside down or whatever to see what the best way to go about it is. how it's evolving. So they kind of have a life of their own in some ways. It's a mystery. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, my studio, because all this work is here, right now it's pretty empty. And it's so I'm actually afraid to go in there, which sounds kind of wacky, but it's true.